Well, folks, we've got an interesting one. Welcome to the channel. I'm Don. This is Rockin' the Country. It's a gift request from none other than Renee Mooberry. And Renee made a gift to the channel for me to do a reaction to a LeAnn Rimes interview when she was 13. So this is fascinating, and it's the link is on the WFAA channel. And so I'm going to put the link down below in the description box so you can go over and check out what they've got, just out of respect for them and, posting it and all that stuff. So this is LeAnn when she was 13. Renee is arguably Dwight Yoakam's biggest fan, but I think LeAnn Rimes might be I think it's like 1A and 1B. So Renee, thank you for this gift, my dear. And let's see what we have for when she was 13, because I still am astounded by how astute some people are and insightful some people are at a very young age, because I was not. My astuteness came later in life. From the vaults. Yeah, there you go.
There's a new child prodigy making her mark on the Texas music industry. And as Gary Cogill tells us, even though she's not yet a teenager, her concerts are classic country and western.
So she's not 13 yet?
She's been compared to Patsy Cline, able to capture the heart, the soul, and the rhythm of a song like no one near her age. When you finally witness LeAnn Rimes in concert, it's easy to close your eyes and become captivated by the simple beauty of a song. And if you listen close, it's hard to imagine that this strong, mature voice is resonating from a 12-year-old girl. LeAnn Rimes started singing about the same time she started walking, belting out tunes in competition, singing at church and for charity. In person, what you discover is someone quite different from the adult voice heard on stage. You won't find Patsy Cline in this room, but you will find a charming 12-year-old surrounded by stuffed animals, trophies, and posters on the wall. Do you remember the first time that you ever sang in front of a whole bunch of people?
Not exactly. Not really. I really can't remember back that far. But I have tapes of me singing, on stage when I was 5 years old and whatever. And so I kind of look back at those and remember then.
Somebody told me that you, and I don't know if this is true or not, so you tell me if I'm wrong, but somebody told me that you never get nervous when you sing.
No. No.
You don't at all?
Not anymore. I got over that when I was about 6.
That's fascinating, too, because Carly Simon, well into her adult life, and as a professional, got stage fright. It was always, Larry Bird said before he went on the basketball court, he always had this stage fright. Larry Bird, he said, but once he stepped foot on the court, completely went away and he was in his element. He had no issues once he stepped foot on it. I was that way, but I've officiated a few weddings and given, sometimes I would be giving a lecture somewhere, and I would be nervous before going out there. And then once I was in front of the people, I was 100% fine. The fact that she never had nerves at all, though, is I can't relate to that.
Now, what does make you nervous about performing? Is there anything?
Every once in a while, I don't really get nervous. I get excited and kind of the adrenaline gets pumping. And
oh, that's a good thing, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. But sometimes I just get so excited, I kind of get up there going, "Oh my gosh!" So.
You sing like you're 25 or 30. Have people told you that before?
Yes, all the time.
Is that you consider that a compliment?
Yeah, I think it is a compliment.
When you're singing and you see the faces of the audience members, what do you see?
I guess I just, see people liking my music.
You pick all your own songs?
I help. I do. My dad and my mom both help me pick all my songs.
LeAnn lives with her mom and dad in Garland, Texas. Both are tirelessly involved in LeAnn's promising career, making decisions on a daily basis, working more than one job, and keeping track of their talented daughter.
LeAnn was 7 years old, and she got the part of Tiny Tim in A Christmas Carol.
Oh, do you remember the one line she had?
God bless us, everyone. I really think she's here for a purpose. I really do. people would come up to us and say, you know, this is not normal for her to be able to sing like this.
Made for me.
It is a God-given gift. She does touch hearts.
She started early. I mean, at 18 months old, she could sing and carry pitch. Around 5 years old, it started coming. And by the time she was 8, she didn't miss a pitch. And I told her, I said, if you ever want to be a singer, you've got to feel it. You got to sing it from here. And I'd tell her what the songs were about, explain to her what they were about. And it was just like difference in night and day within a week's period,
Do you ever get emotional when she sings?
Oh, Lord, not as bad now as I used to. Yeah. To have somebody, to have your own child to be able to get out and do what you couldn't. I always wanted to, but I just really never had the chance she's had.
Having a daughter with such enormous musical potential isn't always easy. For instance, LeAnn is no longer attending school. She tested 2 grades higher and continues her education through correspondence courses.
Well, they
You
did
miss
that
school?
then?
No.
This is
I had a lot
95.
of trouble in school with all the kids.
What was the trouble?
It was kind of, I guess, jealousy talking, and everything
Yeah.
really hurt my feelings.
But it's here at home, walking around her apartment complex on a pleasant Texas afternoon, where LeAnn stays grounded in her life and in her music. Tell me the story of Blue.
Blue, Bill Mack, who's a radio disc jockey, wrote that for Patsy Cline about 30 years ago. And then she got killed in a plane crash before she had time to record it. And
30.
then he heard one of my albums, and 30 years later, and decided to give it to me.
Wow.
That's the right song for you, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is.
You get Blue? You ever been Blue?
No, not too bad.
Good.
It's like Michael Jackson used to sing songs. Come on, girl. Like he was 9 or 10 years old, and he'd be singing these lyrics like, stop the love you save may be your own. Like, of course, it had to be written by somebody else, but you marvel that somebody at a young age like LeAnn's or Michael Jackson's, that they can sing those songs and actually make them believable, even though they're coming out of the mouth of such a young person.
Thank you.
LeAnn and her parents are in hot pursuit of her first recording contract. LeAnn does have an album currently available that the family produced on their own. But it's the record deal and the national exposure that will separate LeAnn from the rest of the hopefuls. Your parents stay close by,
Oh, yeah.
and are they kind of the guiding force in your career right now?
My dad watches out for me. He helps me with my singing, does the sound. My mom does the hair, the clothes. And they're just there, for me when I need them.
You look at the industry and all of the people and what it takes to get there, it keeps you on a level plane, or it does me anyway.
She is blessed.
Yes, I think she's blessed with a talent a good God, a good Lord give her, and it's just, you can't explain it, it's there.
The careful attention to lyrics, while making sure the sound is just right, the maturity of the music, the emotional demand of performance, the lost innocence of schoolyard memories, the devoted guidance by parents who care, and of course the audience, always appreciative, always enthusiastic. Proving the point, some people are indeed gifted. And in the case of LeAnn Rimes, the gift is truly remarkable.
Yeah, preserving your voice is so important.
And with all you've just heard, you may find it surprising that LeAnn has never had any formal vocal training. In her case, an old saying about talent is true. Some people are just born with it. And that'll do it for this week. Thank you very much for joining us. And stay tuned now for more on our weather next on the News 8 Update.
Well, that was good stuff, and a testament to Texas and the Texas music scene, and just how big the state of Texas is, that it's an incubator for so much talent. And But it's still a marvel to me, and I think to a lot of people, when somebody so young has that kind of savoir-faire, not just the talent, but the ability to pull it off and not the nervousness. You know, I look at a Caitlin Clark. I don't watch the WNBA. I don't have much time to watch sports these days, as it is. Once college season starts with football and basketball, I'll be back into it. But, you know, I know about the hoopla going on with Caitlin Clark and the WNBA. But one of the things that's missed here is that not everybody with the physical talent, the basketball talent in her case, has the mental stability to carry the load. You know, that back in my day, Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, Michael Jordan, these guys have that intensity to where whatever and Jack Nicklaus in golf, for example, and Tiger Woods, these guys could tune out all this other stuff. It was like and almost meaningless to them. They knew it was there, but when it came to who they were in their respective sport, they just got out. They believed in their own ability and they got after it. They were not distracted. They didn't fold under the pressure. So there are other people, and have been and always will be people at LeAnn Rimes' age in this one, 12, 13 years old, that are as talented as she is, but won't make it because when the kids start making fun of you, you change, or when you get all this adulation, you change, whatever. There are things that can make you fold under the pressure, change under the pressure, lose who you are under the pressure, lose sight of what you've got and where you want to go. You know, you need to have vision, and your parents can only provide so much of it. I love what, you know, her dad said in this one, that, you know, once I explained what the lyrics meant, it changed everything for her, such that within a week, the song would be entirely different. Her performance of the song would be entirely different. So anyway, I'm not going to rate that one, Renee. That was wonderful. I like seeing these things. I like being introduced to the human interest side of it because that's my side of things. I used to own a dance studio for 20 years with my now ex-wife, of course. And we had a competing studio. We were a very large school, and we had over 200 students in our competition team program alone, and very high level modern dance program and such. So I'm very well familiar with seeing her. Her mother's doing her makeup and all that stuff. That's in her hair and yada, yada, yada. That's just kind of how that rolls. So mom had her involvement, dad clearly his. Both were involved in this child, but you know, some people just have they're in such a space, such a zone, and have such an awareness of things, of themselves in relation to the world and the world in relation to themselves, that they were going to make it work. And now, just having watched the spaceship video, you know, with LeAnn obviously is a grown woman, that her husband produced that as well, I look and I think too, somebody who has a philosophical mindset. And LeAnn does, but she has a very attached sense of practicality to those ideas. But when you have that sort of heightened awareness and intelligence, as you go through your years and years and years of life, finding that sense of happy purpose, if you will, finding that way to adjust to the world that you realize is not a very pleasant place. It doesn't have all that you're looking for. There's not a lot of solace in this world. And you need to have your own personal philosophy to help get you through it. And when you have fame and fortune and you don't have the standard measures in many ways that most people have to sort of acquire that library of awareness, of adjustment, you make yours on a much larger scale. And there aren't as many people who can relate to you. And of course, you know that people are trying to ride your coattails, or they're just trying to get a piece of you because you're famous. That's a very different world to grow up in. And to maintain a certain optimism, or not just for the sake of optimism and cheerleading life along, like great, 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 everything's great, and you develop cliches. I can't imagine LeAnn being a fan of cliches. I hate them. I don't want to be one. I don't like saying them. I like originality. And when you grow up with that mindset and you live your life through that, and then you experience the degree of success that LeAnn does, you have to, in a sense, develop your own barometer, but you have to develop your own life philosophy. You have to make peace with the fact that this is all going to be gone one day, because we're all going to die one day. And I actually think that does engender a peacefulness when you accept your own mortality, because you realize that all this, whether good or bad, people in tough times, all of it's going to be gone one day. And then you can get into theological concepts. Is there a heaven? Is it a place up there? Are you some spirit being floating around up there? Is it a place on earth that you might call paradise? All those, spiritual considerations aside, you've got to make peace with what's going on in this life. And fame is a wonderful thing because it means there's not merely approval, but appreciation for who you are as a human. But it also comes with its downsides. She can't go out to dinner by herself without people recognizing who she is and being maybe interrupted. And maybe that's welcome, but generally you just want some peace of mind and normalcy. So anyway, Renee, thanks for that. All right, guys, have a great day. I'll see you on another video. Keep rocking the country.